Welcome back to Lamp Oil Stock. This is a Hebrew Israelite channel where we talk about issues from that point of view. Today we got a new topic, something else to talk about. What are we talking about there?
We're talking about the N word.
That's crazy. You can't even use the word that we want to talk about.
Right. We can't use the word because somebody might decide that we're wrong for using it and take the video down. So we're going to just say the N word.
Okay. All right. So So what aspect are we talking about here?
Well, we're going to talk about this word because it's a word that people are now saying that not only can't people that aren't black use it, but black people can't use it or shouldn't use it as well. And that just angers me.
Why?
Well, it angers me for one because that word holds a lot of history in a word. You know, that word says that our people were put into slavery. And we were called that in order to, one, take away who we really were, take away our identity as Israelites. We went from being Israelites to being the N-word.
Right.
So it took away our history, it took away our past by calling us that. But while being called that, we endured slavery and we endured all of the evil that people could come up with. And we made it through that. And we made it through that strong. You know, we're not a broken down people. We didn't become the evil that was put on us, you
right.
know. Now, I'm talking about as a whole. Have some of our people become the evil that was used against us? Yes, they have. And
right.
I'm not talking about those people. They're the outliers.
Yep.
Not the majority. Even though it's hard to tell when you look at TV. TV, the people that are in power make it seem like something different.
Right.
But that's not what I see.
Well, what do you see? I mean, you know, if, let's say, a friend of yours
right.
greets you with that word, you know, what up, N-word, what actually comes to your mind?
Nothing, just camaraderie.
Right.
You know, it is, it's a shared experience is what it makes me think of. You know, I don't really think, oh, we have a shared experience, but that's the feeling that I get, that me and this person, we have this shared history. And you know, this is not, I mean, it is a tale of evil and bad, but it's also a tale of endurance.
Gotcha.
You know, it's a tale of perseverance. So I don't want my children to miss out or not understand who they are or what their ancestors went through.
Well, let me hit you with this idea. So, we did go from Israelites to being the N-word. What would we be now that they're erasing the N-word? Are they trying to erase who we are again? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, when I say they, I mean the people in charge.
Right.
Okay,
right.
I'm not talking about any. I'm
We're-
not talking
yeah.
about any given individual. But think of it this way: by getting rid of that word, they're getting rid of the context. They're getting rid of the history behind it.
Right.
All that is being taken away with the removal of the word. It's not just the word, it is the concept and things that went with it.
Right, and it's taken away um, the remembrance of the type of evil that's out there and what that evil can and will do. Of course, I'm not talking about an individual person. The person next door is not writing the textbooks.
Right.
They're not making the laws. I'm talking about those people who are in charge that are evil and are continuously being evil and trying to confuse everyone so that they will submit to their evil.
Let me take this another step, too, because in America, which is where we are, it's the N word. But
Right.
if you're overseas, that's not really a word that's used that often. I mean, it may be, but it may be used in different places. But there's plenty of other terms for groups of people, shall we say, that are derogatory, that are basically banned. I mean, in America, it's not even just in America. In the world in general, it is a softening of the language itself. It's an attempt to take history away.
Right. It's an attempt to make you think that things have changed when things have not changed. It's just that today the slavery and the evil that was happening largely to my group of people is now happening to everybody. It's not that necessarily that hard slavery, unless, God forbid, you break one of the zillion laws that don't allow you to be human and they throw you in jail. But everyone is bound in some form of slavery where they can't say what they want to say. They can't go where they want to go without permission. They can't go to their job and slave away and then spend their money the way they want to,
Right.
without asking permission and telling someone where it's going.
Or why it went there, or buying only the things you are allowed to purchase. Oh, and it's getting a lot worse.
But those people who are in charge, I bet you they never have to worry about a 2-item limit or a 10-item limit.
Right.
Or calling and asking permission to withdraw over their limits out of their accounts.
Right.
So everyone is being put into a slavery. But since we're getting rid of terms that remind us of the evil that has been perpetrated on people, we are allowing that evil to happen to us again. I hear some black people, they talk about how things are getting bad for black people. I mean, for white people. Or they'll talk about how things are getting bad for Chinese people. And I think they talk about this stuff as if it's a good thing. Oh, it's our time now. Things are getting bad for these people. See how it feels. But the problem is that if you accept it happening to anybody, then you're going to have to accept it happening to you.
Right.
That's not a race thing. It's a human thing. It's a good thing. It's a good versus evil thing. The Israelites are the ones who are supposed to lead the world. But we're supposed to lead in righteousness. I'm not happy when anybody is tortured, hurt, raped. People are starving. That doesn't make me happy. I don't get joy from that. That's not righteous to treat people badly. And I could sit back and say, yay, bad things are happening to those other people. But then doesn't that make me the evil that I hate?
Right. So normally on our page, whenever we put up a video, it's just one picture, usually. But right now, there's a slideshow of folks, of all types of different people, who are in some form of bondage. Some of them are debt bondage. Some of them, I would have to say, are youth bondage. I mean, they're children that are forced to work. Some of them are incarcerated. All those pictures are sliding through right this moment. And the takeaway is the world is going back into different forms of slavery. Not that it ever actually left, it's just becoming more and more prevalent under different names.
Right, and you see these people who are prison or they go to jail and they're treated as if kind of like they treated black people when they were calling us the N-word.
Right.
But a lot of people are thrown in jail for just trying to live, just trying to survive, or doing something that someone said they shouldn't do. They make up millions of laws,
Right.
so that people can't live. It's like we're all animals in a cage ran by puppet masters, and we're fighting each other
For their entertainment.
For
For their entertainment.
For their entertainment and for their scraps.
Yeah.
This is not the world that I want to live in. This is not the place I want to be. And people need to understand that the war that is going on is not one of country or race. It's the war that between good and evil. And the leaders that are running this world, all of them are evil, because Satan rules this world. So all of those famous people that everyone are cheering for and listening to advice from, they're evil. And they're only going to lead you to more evil. People need to decide that they're not going to fall for the lies that are controlling and running their lives, and understand that there are only two choices: good or evil, and pick one. And if you pick good, you have to fight all evil that comes your way.
All the time.
Every choice, every decision, every thought. If you're evil, well, do whatever the hell you want. Because your day it's almost over.
Well, see, here's the other thing. If you don't pick, you're evil.
By default.
That's it. If you don't pick, you're evil by default.
And your life is worthless. You're just being used. You're by whoever comes by, whatever wind blows.
Right. Absolutely. This is definitely something to think about. You know, in your own lives, you out there, in your own lives, you have to make a personal stand for good in all of its forms, or you are picking the other team. That's really all there is to it. Or you're picking the other team.
And that is really the only fight that's worth fighting. The fight for righteousness. Everything else is just a distraction.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so very much for taking the time out to spend a little time with us and listen to our videos. Please do us a favor,
dislike,
or comment.
Subscribe.
Any of those type of things help us out tremendously. Thank you so very much for listening. You got anything else?
Kwam Yasharala.
Bye.